Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. I have a new guest today, Juliana Hahn. Good afternoon. How are you, Juliana?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me some of your time to have an interview, but it's going to be different because usually I have people who are working directly in hotels, and you are working in the industry, but you left hotels a while ago. So we'll go into that in a second. You studied hospitality management in Switzerland, I guess, right? Les Roches?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. And then you started working in hotels until you decided to go into copywriting, which is your current business. So can we rewind and go back to first, why hospitality, and then why switch?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And let me get right to your question. I've always loved traveling. So hospitality was quite an obvious choice when I was looking for a career to get into after high school, or at least something to study first. And I think it came because my dad's American, my mom's German. So we traveled a lot when I was a kid. We went to see my dad's family in the US, and we always would travel around and see different places there. So that love for traveling kind of got instilled in me early on. Then when I was studying in La Roche, I had the opportunity to do some amazing internships, and that kind of just really showed me that hospitality was the industry I wanted to be in. And even then, when I finished La Roche, I got a fantastic opportunity to work in Jordan at the Dead Sea, which is probably not a place that I would have ever thought I'd end up working in, but it was really great. It had so many fantastic experiences for me. And it was a really, really enriching time. And then I got to work in another few hotels in Paris and in the Caribbean. And each place had so many learnings and so many things to offer. And looking back, I'm very, very happy that I chose this route and worked in hospitality. Just to give a little more background, I did my first internship at reception, but then switched into F&B for my other two internships, which was really the department that I enjoyed working in the most. All my other jobs were in F&B as well. And I just always really liked this connection you had with guests in a restaurant or in a bar, and getting to socialize with them, talk with them while they were enjoying their drinks or their meal. And that's just what I really like about hospitality, just getting together with people and showing them a good time.
Mm-hmm. So you were in Jordan, you were in France, you were saying, in the Caribbean. Then that was your last hotel job.
In the Caribbean, yes, that was the last one.
And then what happened?
Well, I kind of felt this urge to do something a bit more creative, in the sense that I wanted to get back to writing, something I'd always enjoyed throughout college, throughout high school already. And I was helping in one of my previous jobs with some small marketing materials, like proofreading the English and maybe making a few suggestions about things that we could change. And I remembered really liking that. So I started looking for opportunities like writing, like how to make money writing and how to make that my new career and kind of transition into that. And so I came across copywriting. I really hadn't heard much about it. I didn't really know that much about it, honestly. But then I just kind of did some more research. I did some trainings on it. And I joined my partner in Thailand after my job in the Caribbean. It was a seasonal job. It finished in early 2015. And when I went to Thailand, I had the choice: either look for another hotel job and kind of leave that copywriting training I had done on ice, or just try to find copywriting jobs. So I decided to do that, and very quickly got very, very lucky that one of Bangkok's top PR agencies was actually looking for a native English copywriter. And they had just relocated their office. It ended up being really close to our apartment there.
Oh, wow.
And which in Bangkok is pretty amazing since it's such a huge city. And if you don't have to commute, then that's
I heard the traffic is
absolutely awesome.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Horrendous, yes. So they called me in for an interview and were ready to take a chance on me. I think I started pretty much the next day or the next week or something like that. And that was very formative. I mean, the team was great. They were so patient with me because I hadn't worked in PR before at all. I didn't have any experience in that. And they guided me every step of the way. And especially the agency's founder, she was fantastic. She explained and taught me so much. And in the, I think, 2.5 or 3 years I was working with them, I got to work on really great client accounts. We hosted fantastic events, and I just got to really like dive right in and just be part of the team and part of all the projects. And yeah, I got to work with some really big international companies that, as especially such a new copywriter, I would have never been able to work with just on my own. And yeah, it really showed me that copywriting was the right thing. But after some time, we relocated again, moved away from Thailand, and that's kind of when I scaled things back with the PR agency. They kept me on part-time, and the other half of my time I dedicated to finding my own clients back in the hospitality niche, right? So I did want to get back to that sector, since working for hospitality clients at the PR agency was always by far my favorite, just because I could identify with that industry. I knew what I was talking and writing about. And so yeah, I started pitching various hotels or hotel tech companies, and quickly found a few interesting clients, several of which I'm still working with today. So a lot of my clients have become like longstanding partners, really. So yeah, it's been a great journey, actually.
Unusual, I would say, no, because as you were saying, I don't think copywriting is such a, I mean, at least coming from hospitality, that's a popular sort of way for a career. Actually, personally, I think the first time I heard copywriting was in Mad Men, you know, as one of the roles in the series. Really, I didn't even know what it meant until then. But no, yeah, I mean, and now you've have your business for almost 5 years now, hospitality-copywriting.com. One question I have for you is, I wonder, I mean, I also go to hotels as a consultant, and there tend to be a lot of errors in websites, missing pictures, misspelling mistakes on the websites. So I mean, I'm talking about corporate accounts, like large companies that have that, not even like small hotels, but the large ones as well. So from your point of view, why does that happen? I mean, the website is a window to the world. So what's missing there? What is the mistake? Why don't they take better care of their website?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, actually. And I often wonder about that myself, because I feel like for smaller hotels, maybe sometimes they have more of an excuse because they're just like stretched a bit more thinly because they don't have big marketing teams or big teams to handle all of these things. But especially with larger hotels, I think maybe their size is kind of in their own way, just because there's always someone else responsible, right? If you ask the marketing person, oh, it's the communications guy. And you ask the communications guy, oh yeah, but I haven't received this thing to upload, and I need to wait for someone else to approve it, or I need to wait for this person to submit something to me. And there's a lot of red tape and a lot of things to move through, especially if you're in one of these really big companies. And I think maybe with smaller hotels, they might just rely very heavily on OTA business and think, well, okay, our website is there just because, well, just for it to be there. But since we get most of our business from other places, we just don't want to spend the time and the resources to put too much energy into our website. So I think that might be the main reason, or maybe a few other factors as well. But yeah, I think for smaller hotels, it's definitely time and resources, and maybe just not necessarily knowing how to set up a proper website, especially in terms of like layout and all the technical things, because there's a bit of a learning curve, right? If you want to create a website, it's not a done thing in 1 hour.
They advertise it, yeah. True. So you do website content, blog posts, newsletters, press releases. What is it you like the most on copywriting?
There's two things I enjoy the most. I think it's writing blog posts and customer stories. But yeah, website content is also fantastic because it allows me to really get to know the company, see what they what they think of themselves, like how they perceive themselves, what they think they can offer their guests or their clients, and then to put that into words. And like you said, the website is a window to the world, right? It's also how your potential clients look in at your world. And if I get to write your content, then it allows me to help portray you in a way that you want to be seen.
So part of that job, I'm guessing, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a lot of research from your side and also interviewing the owners or the managers of that company, right? To see what, as you were saying, what they think of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really important, actually, because if you tell me, okay, you need a blog post or website content or whatever, then well, I need to know what to write about, right? And if it's, say, for website copy, then of course I need to know what it is that you're selling or what you're offering, but also why are you doing it? Why does it benefit people? Why would they want to buy what you're selling, or why would they want to book a room at your hotel? So what sets you apart, for example, from others? Like, why would they choose you over someone else? And of course, I'll get that input from the company owner or from the management, but also do some research, maybe read some reviews, what other people think of the business or the product or the hotel, for example, and just bring all of that together to get a really complete picture of what I'm supposed to write about. And then I can go into creating the content and really going into the details of actually writing. So the writing is probably the smaller part, really. Like, researching and understanding the topic is probably more elaborate, actually, than the writing itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. And if anyone wants to start in that sort of business, what will they need? What do you think is the most important in terms of skills or in terms of passion? What do they need to like to fall into the right place?
For copywriting, you mean,
Exactly,
or for hospitality?
Yeah. No, for copywriting.
For copywriting?
First. Yeah.
Well, I think you definitely have to enjoy writing, obviously. I mean, that's a given. And you have to enjoy the research as well, like whether that's interviewing the person whose website content you're writing, or maybe you're interviewing their client about why they like the product or something like that. So you need to enjoy that. You need to enjoy gathering information and then sifting through that information to find the most relevant things, right? Because people will tell you a lot, and then you can't always use everything, right? You need to pick out the best details. And what else? Well, I think you need a bit of an understanding of what people are interested in and what people need to know or want to know. So you need to understand your industry and the pain points or needs of the people that you're writing for. And that's another part that comes in with research, right? You have to be able to read and study that industry and really pick out what people need, what is their pain right now, and how can you address that with what you're writing.
Mm-hmm. The pain now, the pandemic, I guess. What's your take on the current situation, especially for our industry? I cannot avoid that question, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I can only repeat that it's a huge challenge for everyone, whether it's hotels or hotel tech providers, hotel suppliers. I mean, it trickles down, right? And I mean, even I've been impacted as well, as some of my clients have felt the impact of the pandemic. Some projects have been put on hold or canceled. So I think everyone that's working in the hospitality industry has felt this to some degree, some more than others, of course. And yeah, I'm happy to see that now things seem to be slowly picking up. I don't want to shout too loudly about this and get ahead of myself, but I really hope that we'll see a good recovery in the coming times and get to travel again soon. Yeah.
As soon as we are all allowed, yeah, restrictions are lifted. So
exactly, but
sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I had a question here. Sorry, I left it behind, and it was some quick advice for hotels. So what do you think is most impactful? So let's say a small hotel doesn't have much budget. is it, are the pictures like really proper good pictures on the website more impactful? Is it the text? Is it a mix of both? Should they invest more maybe on SEO and being easy to be found online? What do you think is the best value for money for to be recognized?
Well, I think if you already have a website, then yes, good photos are extremely important because people don't want to read long novels. They don't want to read every last bit of text on your website. So use photos to really show what your property is all about, show what's unique about your property, right? And especially nowadays, I think now that people maybe can't travel as much, you can really leverage that even more. Maybe do you can use even smartphones can do these 360-degree photos now that people can click around in and just kind of get more of a feel of your property, or do a short video. Even that you can do with like a reasonably good camera or a smartphone nowadays. So really try to show people what your property looks and feels like, and make them feel like they're already there with your visual content. And then yeah, make that work together with your writing by giving like really boiled down information about your in a way that is somewhat inspiring and evokes this desire to travel, and but also without totally overdoing it and kind of taking it on too thick with descriptors and just like yourself about how amazing your property is. So kind of to find a middle ground there between just describing what you offer and providing some sort of or creating some sort of an emotional appeal for your property.
Without overdoing it, what you're saying, you know, sometimes it becomes too much. It's too many words in the sentence. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we read a lot of the same words and the same type of descriptions. People who browse several hotel websites probably feel like they're reading the same thing over and over again.
Okay,
so
exactly. So finding that emotional connection that you're saying is difficult. I see more and more now videos. I mean, not on pictures, still pictures, but when you open a website, there's these videos of the property. Are you a fan of that? What's your professional opinion on that?
Honestly, I mean, it can look great, but it can also cause your site to load very slowly depending on how you've embedded the video on your site. So I'd be very careful with these autoplay videos. I'd rather go for something that, for example, you've put on YouTube and then you offer it a bit further down on your site where people can actually click to play and play it when they want and load it when they want. But yeah, especially if someone might be browsing from their phone and they're on a data plan, like I would get annoyed if there was just a random video playing. I don't like that, whether it's a hotel website or any other website that I go on. I prefer not to see that. But then again, it can look absolutely fantastic too if you do it the right way. But I'd stick with like an optimized leader image that's a bit compressed, so it again doesn't load too long. Because you already mentioned SEO a bit earlier. That's something Google doesn't like either, right? Like if your site loads too slowly, or then it penalizes you for that. So I think kind of prioritize your page loading speed and avoid these very heavy graphics and videos.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. Now, a question that I ask everyone, challenging times, we're saying, we have people studying hospitality, either high school, like Abitur sort of thing, or university, or master's degree, whatever it is. And probably they're asking themselves, oops, is it the right time now to go into hospitality? So from someone who's spent a number of years in hospitality and you are still linked to the industry, what can be your advice to those young people studying now?
Well, I think hospitality is always a fantastic industry to get into. And while it might be a bit more difficult to land a job in like classic hospitality, like in a hotel itself right now, I think there's many great opportunities with hotel tech companies, for example. They provide a lot of really great opportunities, and I think they offer like a lot of room for growth and just a lot of very, very cool chances, especially for young people who really want to change something, who want to like help out their clients, who really want to feel like they're contributing to something. That's maybe something I missed a bit in my earlier positions, that I didn't feel like I could
make an impact.
Make an impact, or like a larger impact than just the guests or like the one restaurant I was working in, but have a larger impact on the business as a whole. And of course, that would come with graduating to higher positions in the hospitality world. But I think in hotel tech, you might get that a bit earlier, for example, right? If you work in customer success and you onboard new customers and you see how well they're doing with a new product, for example, and you really see how your work is benefiting many people very quickly. And I think that's something definitely to look into. I think if I'd have been a bit more aware of the cool developments going on in hospitality tech right when I graduated, I might have actually looked into that. But somehow at that time, it wasn't really on my radar, unfortunately. But I'm catching up on that now. So yeah.
All right, there you go. And there are obviously more and more companies coming now integrating open source or thing, API, which are coming up in the market. So it can be, that's a very good point, an alternative to the, let's call it traditional hospitality or hotel industry.
Okay. Yeah, and especially if you've studied hospitality and you've done a few internships, or maybe worked for a few years in hospitality, then you would be very valuable to hotel tech companies or hotel suppliers, because you know the client they're serving, right? That's something I know a lot of my clients appreciate about me, is that I've worked in hotels and I know the issues that their clients face firsthand. So I think that experience is something that young hospitality professionals can leverage.
Okay, good. Positive message there. Okay, so recapping here, I was taking note. So you like to socialize, you like people, and that's one of the reasons why you got into the industry. You also love writing, so you put your two passions together and got your creative side as well. We're saying that it's very important for your role to do the research. It's more probably than the time you spend writing. You have to enjoy writing, and so I think you put it together. You need to enjoy writing, researching, enjoy people, and love the industry to put it all together.
Yeah.
To be able to enjoy it too, and I highlight that one as well. Be able to create content that can show that emotional connection with the clients. That's what you.
Yes, that's very important.
Okay, good. So there were highlights that I was taking notes of. Anything else from your side to add?
Not that I could think of right now, no.
Okay, perfect. So lots of useful info, hopefully, for whoever listens to the podcast. And again, thanks very much for your time. Let me say it right again. Hospitality-copywriting.com, your website. Great stuff in there. Really, actually, the website looks really, really nice, like really neat.
Thank you so much.
It's true. I mean, you see a lot of different sort of websites from every industry, but I mean, makes sense that you being a designer / copywriter have a very good website, but it really looks good. So
thank you so much.
Thanks for your time again. Okay.
Thank you for having me, Pablo.
Cheers. And bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was all for now. Hope you found it useful. Remember that you have more information on our website, www.torresconsulting.co.uk, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Twitter. Stay well. Goodbye for now.